Apple just unveiled a bunch of new iPads at their event, so here's everything you need to know for 2024. Let's start with the iPad Pros. Apple is keeping both the 11 and 13-inch models, however there are some massive upgrades. The first one being the chip. Apple introduced their brand new next generation Apple Silicon today through the M4. And this thing is a monster. It's built on a 3nm process and packs a ton of power. The CPU performance alone has increased by 50% compared to last generation, but that's still not the most impressive part. The GPU is said to have increased in performance by over 4x and is said to have finally gotten enough power to bring ray tracing to iPad for the very first time. Along with this, the neural engine also got a huge upgrade with the M4, and I think this is actually one of the biggest reasons to upgrade. The new engine can now perform a ridiculous 38 tops or trillions of operations per second. This is much higher than previous chips and actually is double the performance that I get on my own M2 Pro in the Mac Mini. And for anyone coming from a first generation neural engine found on the A11 chips, the new M4 neural engine boasts a 60x performance gain. And it's also more power efficient since Apple has finally introduced graphite cooling systems into the iPad Pros. Now let's shift gears and talk about the display. The iPad Pros for the very first time got OLED, meaning they'll have the richest color of any iPad screen. The display will also have a nano textured glass layer and have a peak brightness of 1600 nits. And some smaller upgrades include the shift of the front-facing camera sensor all the way to a landscape orientation and a brand new flash module on the camera. But prices are ludicrous, with the 11-inch starting at $999 and the 13-inch going all the way up to $1299. Now let's shift gears and talk about iPad Air. Apple introduced a new version of the Air for the first time today, being a brand new 13-inch model. This is a 30% size increase from last generation, and both 11 and 13-inch models will be upgraded to the M2 compared to the M1 from last gen. This obviously means better performance and better for AI, which seems like something Apple is keen to talk about this year at WWDC. The Air also gets the same camera redesign as the Pros with the landscape orientation change of the front-facing camera. Apple has also doubled the base storage amount from 64 to 128 gigs. Finally, and the Air will see an improvement in sound quality as it's got new speakers with spatial audio. Finally, prices will be similar as they were to last year's, with the 11-inch base model starting at $599 and the brand new 13-inch iPad Air starting at $799. Now, if you're wondering about the regular iPad or iPad Mini, we got barely any to no coverage for them at the event today. The only thing we got was that Apple has stated they're dropping the price of the regular 10th gen iPad to $349, so I guess that's nice. But as far as the Mini, we've gotten no updates. But now that we know Apple's entire iPad lineup for basically the rest of 2024, what should you even consider buying? As far as the high end, I honestly don't see a reason for you to get an iPad Pro unless you're a heavy power user or just like an AI fanatic, I don't really know. I just don't see any use cases for that much power, and since the iPad Air still does exist, it's a really tough sell, especially considering that the Air has like 95% of the power for like most people. So my suggestion would be is if you're gonna spend a bit of money, put it towards the Air, not the iPad Pro. Now, if you're just a regular user who wants to buy an iPad for, let's say, some personal use cases or just day-to-day tasks, the 10th gen iPad does seem very appealing, especially since it's dropping in price to $349. So I would honestly take it. And if you're considering buying an iPad Mini, I would caution you to wait till the end of the year, because likely Apple might have some new introduction for the iPad Mini, and I would rather you wait for it instead of just buying it right now. But that's every single thing Apple announced at their May 7th event today, and that's everything you need to know for the rest of 2024 as far as the iPad lineup is concerned. Now, if you did enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as that'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.